I'm Lorraine Dahlmeier. I'm the director of Formula Botanica, and Formula Botanica is the online organic cosmetic science school, award-winning and accredited, and we teach thousands of people how to make professional organic skincare and hair care.
And my name's Gemma. I work with Lorraine at Formula Botanica, and I am the business and relationship manager.
I love the roundtable because it brings together all these amazing people who are in the natural beauty sector and who really contribute to the overall discussion. And I love the fact that you guys bring them all together and we have this chance to just sit together for a couple of hours and chat and network. The discussion I really enjoyed was about genderless beauty, which I think is a topic that we will certainly be exploring a little bit more for our podcast and some of the articles we write for the Huffington Post, because it's such an interesting concept, and we know that the male sector isn't as big as it could be, but maybe it shouldn't be even a big sector. Maybe it should all be one big genderless sector. So there's an interesting bit of work to be done there, I think.
Yeah, I agree with Lorraine. I mean, what does genderless beauty mean for brand and branding in the natural and organic sector? And also it ties into a larger conversation that society's having around gender binary opposites. I mean, do we really need that? And I think there is an opportunity here for the natural and organic sector to tie into something.
One of the things I thought was quite interesting, the conversation's almost sort of stopped at one point, and there were a couple of comments along the lines of it. Perhaps we need to sort of reframe how we present ourselves as an industry in more positive terms. Was that something that resonates for you, or is it a complicated area where you have in some ways to be critical about the things that you're not?
Well, our philosophy at Formula Botanica is very much we don't criticise synthetics. It's just not what we do. We only talk about the benefits and positives of naturals and organics and botanicals, and that's something we work very hard on, because we find if we start to focus on the negatives, then the conversation becomes very negative. And it's not really a route that we want to go down. We surveyed our mailing list and all of our subscribers this year, and we asked them, why do you choose clean, green and organic beauty? And 70% of people said because of what it doesn't contain, because we don't want these synthetic chemicals in there that we perceive to be toxins. And I think that's something that really needs to be flipped on its head. Do you agree?
Yes, because then we're not being given a chance to talk about all these ingredients that we're really passionate about. I mean, we work with so many students and cosmetic formulators who are wildly passionate about sustainability, all these different types of oils, butters that they're sourcing from all over the world and the properties that they have, and yet they're not always talking about those. They're saying, well, it's preservative free and free of parabens and free of SLS, etc., but they're not actually showcasing all of the things that they're wildly passionate about. And I think that's sometimes because they think that that's what the consumer wants. And I think this has actually led to a misunderstanding of things like preservatives and why they're important, because people are saying, I don't want preservatives because I've read they're really bad. However, they are actually a necessary thing inside cosmetic products. So someone will say, I don't want that because it's got a preservative, without actually fully understanding what the preservative does, and that you can get naturally derived preservatives. So it's
it keeps you safe at the end of the day. It's what we all want. The big opportunity in the industry is hair care, organic hair care. We launched our diploma in organic hair care formulation this year. We spent 18 months, 2 years working on it. All the R&D in the lab took forever. And we're teaching people how to make cleansing, conditioning and styling products organically. It's not easy, it's harder than making skincare, but what we're seeing is that a lot of people look at the market and think there's all this skincare, so that's where the demand is, and they're not seeing the absolutely enormous demand that there could be and already is in terms of organic hair care. So I want to see more indie brands going down the hair care route.
For me, it would be sustainability, because I know that it's something that Jane from Willida talked about at our conference and has been raised numerous times, is can natural and organic always be sustainable? And I think that sometimes people think because you're using a natural and organic product and it's green, that it automatically means it's sustainable, and it isn't always. And I think that we need to start having that conversation more about how we can build sustainability into our brands as well. And we had a really useful conversation at the round table which touched on that, and people are trying their best. I mean, sometimes there is just a bottle that doesn't exist for your product, but it's trying to make the steps towards being an ultimately sustainable business, and having conversations around the ingredients like frankincense, like sandalwood, like rosewood, and those sorts of things. Like, should we continue to use those in the sector if ultimately they're not sustainable?
So what's coming up in 2018 for Formula Botanica?
Oh my goodness.
We have our podcast,
Yes.
which is going to be called Green Beauty Conversations, where we'll be talking about the more philosophical side of green and natural beauty, covering quite a few of the topics that we covered at the round table today. And we're really excited about that because we think it's going to be a good resource for people who are looking to understand issues such as what is natural, what is chemical free, as well as the broader issues around sustainability, trends.
We've also got a top secret project.
We do.
Maybe I should unveil it.
You could.
We're launching a membership site next year where people can subscribe, and they're going to get mini lessons every month on topics about to do with ingredients, formulation, and running an indie brand. And we've got lots of amazing guest speakers who are going to be in there every single month. So that's one of the big things that we're working on at the moment. And lots of other things as well, which I'm not going to unveil yet.
Not yet.